Check, check. will be starting here as soon as this ad break is over. Oh. Bad time for that, but stop. I literally just walked in the door, got everything set up, and so I haven't had time to eat my tacos. But yeah, we're playing Run8 again tonight. I was gonna play Star Citizen, and then I just was like, nah, I'm too tired to like really focus on that. I figure I can do a little short stream here in Run8, do a little bit of chit chatting, running some trains for a bit, probably about maybe a 2-hour stream before I call it a night. Ugh. I'm trying something new. I have this right here. It's my handset from my walkie-talkie at work that I don't really ever use at work. And I'm like, I wonder if I can plug it to my computer at home. And Santa Fe 71, 17. We're sitting here, Barstow, gonna be doing some work in the yard. For whatever reason, I can hear myself, and I don't know why. I've tried turning it off. I thought I had turned it off. I guess I didn't. And also, like, Streamlabs isn't capturing the screen. It's capturing everything again, and it won't capture just the game, so. Alright, see, I can hear myself, and I don't want to hear myself. When I go to recording, configure? No, that's speech recognition, I don't want that. Properties? Listen to this device. Check, check, check. See, I can still hear myself, and I don't know why. I shouldn't be able to hear myself on this. Checking 1, 2. Let's see, yeah. Oh, you know what? I bet you anything. If I go here, like I'm wanting to play Run8, and I'm like doing completely other stuff. Realtek audio console. Check, 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 check. Check, check. Check. Yeah, it's like nothing I change is working. Testing. Testing, 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 testing. Why can I still hear myself? There's no reason why I should be hearing myself. Oh. Check 1, 2. Mute the internal output device when an external headphone is plugged in. Make internal and external output devices play back 2 different audio streams. I want that. Check 1. Alright, that's still working. This? Whoa, that's even worse. It's like, for whatever reason, when I hit the button to do talk, on here, I can hear myself, and I don't know why. Like, I've gone to the control panel, right? And recording, and it's this one right here. And now I can still hear it. And I can still hear it. So I guess we're just gonna have to live with it. I don't know why it's doing it. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to try and use this as my Discord microphone when I'm playing Run8, so that way it's like, it's a separate microphone. I can push to talk with the actual physical button right here instead of trying to like find a keyboard button or whatever. I did have to unplug the model train layout on my desk because the wire that has to use, long extension cord, is very thin and doesn't have much shielding, and when it was touching the tracks, it was picking up feedback from the DCC system and causing a hum. So I might have to restart my computer later. It'll be something I'll work on later. So first thing, I got these 4 locomotives just sitting here at one end of the yard. They believe they came off of an inbound train. I want to move them to the service facility. Now, I have posted on the Discord, if you're a member of the CMFR Discord, I have posted a poll in the SoCal General. I'm not going to act on that poll until it is done, because I want everybody ample opportunity to get to vote on it. Although it is very heavily leaning towards yes, but there's a real possibility of restarting the server, the save game world, basically from scratch. And that's a CTC switch. Context, but basically starting from scratch, because there's a lot of trains that people have been running and just left places. There's a lot of overflow in terms of rolling stock, and even like disabling the AI spawn rates or turning them way down. People haven't ran half the locals, so there's tons of cars in Barstow and West Colton that just aren't getting ran. And one of the things I want to do is go through, if I do a fresh restart, I want to go through the industry config and AI config and basically make it so that there's only 2 trains that are spawning, or 2 trains per for Barstow, 2 for Barstow, 2 for West Colton, that's right. 2 trains per those yards that are actually bringing cars in for en route trains for industries and stuff. And only turning them on for yards that people want to work. So like, there's yards down on San Bernardino sub that nobody's really playing, but we have tons of cars for them here in Barstow. So why keep bringing more of those in? The idea is, if I can revive the server, if I can revive both my enjoyment of this game and revitalize the server a bit, to be more proactive on what is coming in through the AI spawns for the yards, so that way we don't have these problems of things getting backed up. So I think I've got like 3-hole trains for proper prairie yard down in on the Seligman or San Bernardino sub. I've got a ton of cars in needles, and no one is running needles stuff. So it's like have stuff for Victorville, stuff for Mojave, and kind of leave it at that. It's weird that it's raining in Barstow too. Like it's just an interesting turn of situations. What are you doing? Kitten was just sitting there. I had to like pick my foot up off the floor. See, I love that they do the rain isn't just one blanket weather that affects the entire map. It actually affects individual areas. So it's raining really heavy at one end of Barstow, but not down here, which is something that does happen in the real world. You get rain in one spot, but not in the other spot. I have been in a situation where it's like, I was rail fanning, I was in Durand, and I was standing at the platform, and on the other side of the tracks, it was downpour. But at the platform, it was cloudy, but it wasn't raining there. I do have some plans to clean up some stuff on the Discord as well. I still want to have individual radio channels, like voice channels, for the individual radio frequencies that you would be using in Run 8, but I do think there's probably way too many. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a bunch of them. I'm probably just going to delete all of them and start over and basically go through and have one channel for Barstow Yard and West Colton. And actually, Barstow Yard might also be combined with Barstow Terminal. And then, like, each individual voice channel will be based off of the dispatcher.net listing of channels. So hopefully there'll be fewer channels, but still able to separate it. Because one of the problems I've always had is when you have a lot of people in one voice channel, everyone's talking, it's hard to coordinate. And having played things like Flight Sim and Squad and, like when I say Flight Sim, like played on... Got you now, you little stinker. Got the little stinker, look at him. Having played in things like that, like on That Sim and doing actual operating sessions, and even actually spending some time, volunteering at the Boulder Railroad Museum, or the Railroad Museum down in Boulder. It's like you have these different radio frequencies that people are on and using them, so that way there isn't a lot of crosstalk. So that way there is clear, concise, and accurate communication. If we're all on one channel, you don't get that. We're gonna fly mode real quick. I just want to see what's stuff there, there's stuff there. This track is almost full. I can squeeze these. I think I can squeeze these in on. Whoop. Yeah, I can squeeze these in on that track. I just wish that, like, again, I said this last night, or said this yesterday in yesterday's stream. I still would love to see. I need to throw this switch as well. Like in-game radios, because then it would make it so much easier. Because then we could just boop, 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 and switch voice channels as we need be. TeamSpeak used to have that ability. It used to have the ability to interface with Run8 and change the radio channel based on, or change like which voice channel you were in based on which radio channel you typed in there. I wonder if somebody could make a Discord bot that could do that. Like, if you could have a Discord bot, okay, hear me out. A Discord bot that can somehow interface with Run8, read this radio channel that you set here, and move you to the appropriate voice channel on Discord, just like TeamSpeak used to have. I don't know if there's like a third-party program that somebody could write, but there are plenty of people in the Run8 community who are fantastic third-party programmers and making little add-ons and stuff like that. I honestly wonder if somebody could do something like that. We'll ignore that I just drove through a closed door. It'd be cool if that door was animated and actually opened up when you got close enough to it. But also, I think it'd be cool to do if somebody could come up with something like that. 7173 3-point. I'm gonna relinquish that. Let's see what else we got out here. We'd have one local that came in. I can move this power. What I'm going to grab this locomotive and drive it back, tie onto these, and push them all onto this track here. That's what we'll do first, and then we can move this local power over to here. Starting up BNSF 5514. But I still, man, I think it'd be cool to like. I know there's somebody there's at least one, maybe two people who've built full cabs, and then there's even that guy. Shit, what is his username? Not username. His I have it saved. Simhogger, Wireless Billy, Simhogger, who has right now for sale. Well, Wireless Billy has a what is it, it's a miniaturized version of a full cab simulator for things like Run8, Train Sim, trains, that kind of stuff. I want to buy one, and it's all 3D printed. It's 100% compatible with Run8, 75% compatible with Train Sim World, 50% compatible with Railroader, not tested in trains, not tested in Open Rail, not tested in JMRI. Man, think about this. If this worked in JMRI, oh! let's see. The problem is when I want to see how much it costs, and like you go to the shop, like I want more details. $75 for pre-sale slot reservation, and then the entire build is $980. Right? So it's almost $1,000 for this thing. I wonder if he could sell the STL files like for one price, or even just the CAD files, and then like the bundle of electronics and build it yourself. The problem is like you go to click on stuff, it's like, oh, I want to add that to my cart. I need to log in. But there's nowhere to like sign up, right? So it's like, how do I add it to my cart to buy it? Let's see what's the problem. And I don't have this on another tab where you guys can't see it. I'm just... I should actually send him an email and ask him like how much would it cost for just the electronics and the STL files if I wanted to print one of these myself. Because if I know that, because that's what I want to do. That's what I would rather print it. Like, don't get me wrong, but like here's what it is. This is what I want, right? But if I could get just the electronics and the CAD files to print these myself. Oh, there's a Discord. I might hop in their Discord and ask some questions in there later, but that's just me. Anyways, let's get back to moving some freight. Well, moving some locomotives. I stopped a foot too short. Alright, we're gonna start shoving this back, and let's get rolling. Grab another taco. I'm a little sweaty. It was very hot out, and I rode my motorcycle to work today, so... So I'm liking that camera angle, but I'm also not liking it because a lot of times I look over here to like look at chat, and you're just looking at the back of my head, and I'm like, maybe I should move chat over here. I'm kind of like now watching. Oh, God damn it! There goes my lighting. Am I fully in the track? We're fully in the track. I'm gonna go ahead and shut that down and relinquish it. I don't like that. I've been slowly going through too, and just on my end, changing the horns. I don't know the horns well enough to know what's actually on here. It's a 3 chime. So I mean, anything that says R like 3. Yeah, that one seems appropriate for that locomotive. Coupler's open. Oh, I forgot to reset this one switch over here. You always gotta remember to reset these switches. Oh, cheater. Meow. Meow. The kitten is sitting on my lap, and he is being playful. Meow. Meow. He's not gonna meow. We're going to take these over and put them on the service track. Leave them for the next local. Which might not happen. Again, like I said, we might just do a full fresh restart of the server. Counter hits 0, we'll know we're clear the signal. Oh, am I not far enough forward? It should be. Keep forgetting. Cheddar doesn't like chewing on wires, but he likes chewing on the paper tag on the wires, and that camera has a paper tag on its wire. And he's like, he keeps looking at it, and every time I hear him touch it, I look over and he's like, and he books it. I think what I might do when I go to restart it is do like a chaos day where it's just like, alright guys, we're restarting the server anyways. Don't delete trains. You know, still don't delete trains, but you know what? If you want to kick cars out from the top of Tehachapi or the 3% grade on Cajon, you know, have fun. And just let the server run in that manner for like one day. And hell, if that goes well enough, do it more often. Just be like, alright, I'm gonna save the server at this time. My foot's stuck. I got my chair wrong. I can't get my foot in my seat. But like once a month, just have a day where it's like, all right, I've saved the server, I've disabled autosave, have fun for the next like 2 hours and just fuck around, because I'm gonna reset it and like reload the save from 2 hours in 2 hours. Alright, well, the receiving yard's pretty empty. Again, the AI spawns have been off for quite a while. And so what little traffic we have gotten into Barstow, a few people who've hopped on have already processed. And it is raining down at this end of Barstow. There's a random caboose right there. Oh, I think because this is the slough track? Now, what track 1 is slough? Wait. Yeah. It's weird that this one tagged LV didn't go down track over there, but yeah, whatever. Or MET. Oh, MET doesn't have a track yet. Oh well, that's something we'll have to figure out. Like, we got cars for Malabar, cars for San Bernardino, PPH Yard, LAJ, all sitting here. Not too many, but then you come over here to the old yard, and you have all these LMC. Look at all these LMC. Lamirda. This entire cut is all for Lamirda. No one's running Lamirda. In fact, I'm just gonna go to Google fucking Discord real quick. I'm reading the Discord to check some notes real quick. Let's see. You know what we'll do? Just for shits and giggles, because this is enough cars for LMC. Let's actually grab... Let's grab this unit right here. Tagger. And we'll do Tagger and none. Today's the 17th? Yep. We'll get it ready and then we'll send it out and, you know, maybe somebody actually works LMC before we restart the server. Maybe they don't. At least we say we did something, you know? That's one of the things that's tricky too, because it's like I have this poll up right now to do we want to do a blank slate restart of the server, and it is so far 100% yes. So it's like, well, why would I want to do any switching right now in Run 8 and actually get any work done if I know, you know, by Friday that, you know, I may be restarting everything. It's like, well, because why not, you know? Why not have a little bit of fun with with this stuff one last time before it gets reset? Hey, it's Clues Puppies. Long time no see. Just got done gymming. Have a good time at the gym. I worked all day. I don't go to the I don't go to the gym because I work on like 300-pound, 400-pound robots. And so it's like I'm lifting heavy shit all day at work. But I can relate. I can understand being tired because it's like you're at the gym, you're exercising. That's exhausting. I'm at work, I'm picking up heavy shit. That's exhausting. That's why I'm like, alright, I'm just going to stream for like 2 hours at least, play a little bit of this train sim for a little bit, kind of cool down after being out in the hot sun for like an hour on my way home from work. And then like when the stream is done, I'm going to go grab a cold beer, and I might actually grab a cold beer here shortly. And I might hop on VR chat and just chill with some of my VR chat friends after this. At some point in probably in the next... It was a rough joint. In the I don't know how long future, I might stream VR chat. I might try to. I don't know. Wipers are on. Parking brake is set. We can go ahead and release that. Go to the end of the train. Attach EOT. And now I gotta figure out what I want to do with it. Streaming VR chat sounds like a lot of work. It does. It does. Just this setup is a lot of work because I gotta set that camera. This camera right here is the only camera I don't really mess with. That camera I gotta set up. My green screen I gotta set up. My lights I gotta set up. I gotta redo my audio almost every single time. And I try and start my stream at 6:30. I get off of work at 5, and it took me an hour to get home. And so, like, I walk in the door, and I'm like, oh, it's already 6:10. I have 15 minutes to set up my audio, set up that camera, set up the green screen. It's like, oh. With VR chat, only thing I'd have to do, I'd have to do a bunch of stuff internal with VR chat with my streaming software. I'm gonna figure out which track I want to go out on. I want to go. We only get to the departure yard, so that's correct. That's correct. We want that switch. We need this switch. That switch is set. And I need this switch here, which can go here. And click that. I actually have like recorded in VR chat and got like I've kind of figured out how to do all the recording and stuff. We actually 2 weeks ago, was it two? Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. One of the there's like two big VR chat groups that I'm in, and one of like the big members, very high up, like she's near and dear to all of us. It was her birthday, and it was her birthday, and so we threw like a big birthday party for her, and a bunch of us were filming like this whole thing that we did, and I was the drone operator flying a little drone. Have you played any flight sims? Yes, I actually, so through 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I tried live streaming flight sim in VR, and I had everything working, but I kept having problems with like the stream quality going to shit. I had problems with flight sim FPS being like dog shit, and I couldn't figure out why. And it turns out I was trying to fix one thing in Flight Simulator settings, and I had gone to my graphics driver and I had fixed it. I was like, cool. And when I went back to my graphics driver, I had accidentally hit the button for auto optimize flight sim for like the settings. And what it did is it basically took all of my graphics settings and went, well, your computer's this powerful, so we think you can run the game at these settings. So it set everything to maximum, which is absolutely fine if I'm playing flat screen and streaming that. That works just fine. The problem is when I do VR and try to stream that in VR, it blows up my graphics card. It was too much for my card to handle, and my FPS was tanking. And so I was like, why am I getting such bad FPS right now? Why is it not working? The entire time I was trying to stream it. And so I ended the stream, and as soon as I ended the stream, I went through all my graphics settings, and I was like, why are these all at max? Reset every, because I was even getting bad FPS just in general. So I reset all the graphics settings and did some other stuff, and I've got it where I can play it again in VR at decent FPS. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll stream it again. But I think that might be like one of my Sunday things. Like I'll stream Flight Sim on Sunday, because then I can fly my plane in the day, and I can fly it in VR in the day, and I can fly it, I can hop onto like VAT Sim and fly like with actual air traffic controllers and everything. I just now have to find an airplane that I want to fly, because one of the things I want to do is I want to do like a live stream series where I take the plane and I fly it from my hometown here in Vegas, the airport nearest my house, and I want to fly it cross country. Little kitten. Where is he? Come here. I want to fly it cross country to my hometown, and I want to do that like over the course of like a couple of weeks. I just need to find a plane that I want to fly. The one that I want to fly, I'd uninstalled Flight Simulator because I was like, I'm not playing it, and I'm going to play the new one. And then I haven't bought the new one, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to buy the new one for a while. So I uninstalled it because I was like, I haven't played it in a while, and I'll just get the new one. Well, it deleted that plane, and when I re-downloaded the game and re-downloaded that plane, the version I had originally downloaded is no longer available. The version that I did download is bugged and broken and doesn't work anymore. So I can't get that plane to work correctly. And so it's like I haven't found a replacement plane that makes me happy to fly it. There's like one other plane I'm questionable about because it doesn't have all of the avionics, like autopilot and stuff. So I would have to be manually like flying that plane the entire time, which I think would actually be a good challenge. But also I've played, I bounce back and forth between playing different games. Like, I haven't played this one since November. I did play it yesterday for a while, but I haven't played it really since November. I also play Star Citizen, play Elite Dangerous. Those are both like space flight sims. Elite Dangerous, I played that in VR. And I've also done DCS, but I really haven't streamed DCS. I think I did it like once, and I wasn't happy with it. I've also been thinking about like live streaming from the RC car track. And I thought about it, I was like, no one really plays on my Run8 server, so Saturday I could just take my entire internet box, because it's a Verizon box, and just take that with me, and take my laptop and all of these cameras and set them up around the RC car track, and just stream that way. But I get really bad cell service there, so I don't know how good that box would work. So that might be something I try out like this weekend. Oh, I didn't even look at our number. We're 5090. We're Santa Fe 5090. It's our alerter just letting us know that we haven't touched controls in a while. There we go. Let's see if this is working now. I had game capture on, and it's like not capturing the game. Like, Streamlabs is showing me that Run8 is right there, that it can select it. Oh, it's rendered borderless, let's see. You know what? Controls. Keyboard. There's like one graphics, there's one button, I think I need to press it and it'll work. Left shift plus F4. Left shift F4. What are you doing, Cheddar? I'm just messing with trying to get it to capture the game instead, so I can alt tab and you don't see the alt tab bar. It was working like yesterday, so I don't know why it's not working today. No, that's not working. Only an hour late? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, because I did start at 6:30. It's Parker! Parker, you must be talking about my really dumb idea. We went to a really cool store called Micro Center. It was like Best Buy, but 100 times cooler. So they had different racing and sim plate simulators. So Clueless, I live, because I think Clueless I think lives in San Francisco, or lives like in Northern California. Because I think we've talked about it before. Like in other Discords, we've talked about like, oh, what would it be to like I think I mentioned like my favorite bar, and you're like, oh, I would love to go there or something like that. Anyways, I actually there's a Micro Center down in Anaheim, about 4 hours away from me, and I went there a month ago. I was at a Scars Plastic Pandemonium, which was a robot combat event. And I went down there, and I didn't do well, but I had a great time. No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It was RCR finals. I went to RCL finals just to hang out with some of my friends. Just wanted to. And my mom and I went to Micro Center and ended up sitting in like one of their flight sim rigs, and I sat in one of the racing sim rigs. And I already have my own racing sim rig. You can kind of see like on that camera the seat, and if I had it right here, the joystick. But I sat in one of those and I drove the racing sim, and I was like, oh man, I kind of want this wheel. But like the base for the wheel alone was like $600, and then the wheel was like another $100. Or I could buy a new joystick. And I thought about it. My mom's like, well, you could buy a new VR headset or a new joystick. I'm like, well, I really don't need a new VR headset. My VR headset's working just fine. My current joystick that I use for flight simming and stuff is starting to wear out. So getting a new one would be nice. So I got a new joystick. At Micro Center. I fucking love Micro Center. We used to have a place here in Vegas called Fry's that was like, it was halfway between Best Buy and Micro Center. Like, you went to Best Buy to buy a TV, right? And electronics. You went to Micro Center if you wanted to build a computer. Like, if you wanted to build like a good computer. You went to Fry's if you wanted to build an okay computer, right? But it closed down a couple of years ago, and we haven't gotten anything to replace it. So my idea, Parker, was doing a chaos day, where just like for a few hours on the server, I would hit save and just be like, all right, guys, no rules, race trains down Mojave or down Needles as fast as the sim will let you go. Did I just go down an occupied track? Yep, I just ran this train down an occupied track. I should have done one track over. I'm gonna have to pull it forward. No, actually, I can back it up. I didn't realize there was already stuff on that track. Cheater! Okay. Here he is. So I said down kitten earlier. Ow! Don't bite me. Don't bite. Kitten. You are stinky. You are very stinky. You're getting a bath. I'm gonna put you in I'm gonna get a wet rag and some pet shampoo and give you a bath. Ugh. He has this habit of when he goes in his litter box playing in the litter for like a bit longer than he probably should. And so he smells like a litter box. And I just was like, you know what? I just picked him up and held him, but I'm also trying to eat. And he smells bad because he has been, I saw him playing in his litter box. The kitty is stimming in the litter box. He has plenty of toys. I play with him quite often. But like this morning, I scooped out his litter box and he came in there and immediately went to go to the bathroom and he was just sitting there going, shh, for like 10 minutes. And I'm just like, oh, buddy, why do you do this? One of my morning routines is I go around and I gather up all of his toys because he'll push his little chew toys into a corner or under something, and then because he's orange and only has half a brain cell, forget that they're there. Or, oh, I can't play with it anymore because it's stuck up against the wall. So I'll put them all in a big pile. Imagine his reaction with kinetic sand. But like I'll put all those toys in a big pile, and like I'll take one of them and like roll them around with it from a little bit, and like that's like my 10-15 minutes before I go to work. And then usually when I come home, I play with them a little bit as well. Obviously, like tonight, I came home and I was getting my stream stuff set up, but I still I picked him up and rolled him around and played with him for a bit. So he's definitely getting attention. Are all these tracks full? All of these tracks. Well, I guess I could go around this way. Actually, I think I can cross over to the inspection yard. I might be able to cross over into the inspection yard. I cannot. But I can go through this outer track. These two tracks are not occupied to get this train out. What was funny is the other day, like I hadn't been to the RC car track in a couple months. And so I put my RC car back together. And I was like, all right, let's make sure it works. And I was driving around my living room, and he was just sitting on the couch like, what the fuck is that? Just like, oh, what is that? What is that? I have smoked the brakes on this locomotive, trying to stop this train. That's what that smoke is on the ground. That's a first. We'll sit here and let them brakes cool down for a minute before we start moving again. He even has, like, the cat has a cat tree and everything. Like, he's a spoiled little kitten. And the only thing he doesn't do is he doesn't sleep in my bed with me. Because he likes, one of my blankets that I have has, like, little, like, knots of fabric on the end. It's like a decorative Celtic knotted blanket. And, he likes to play with those. And also, I toss and turn a lot during the night, like violently a lot. And he was in my bed the other night, and it woke me up because I rolled over, and he must have been sitting in just the right spot, like on my knee, like curled up on, like behind my knee or whatever. That when I rolled over, it acted like a catapult and flung him across the room. Like I woke up because I heard a thunk off the wall. I'd like flung him because my bed's up against the wall. I'd like flung him over and he bounced off. The way I have my bed set up, there's my side of the bed, and then I have like extra blankets and pillows piled up against the wall. He hit like those blankets and pillows and then rolled up into the wall. I'm like, oh, I feel bad. I just catapulted my cat. So I don't really let him sleep in my room. And on top of that, like, my air conditioning unit is fairly loud. Remind me not to sleep. Well, that's why I told you, if you ever come to Vegas, I have a spare bedroom. And actually, like, I've had people, like, I have slept in bed with other people. Like, I've had I've had girlfriends and partners and stuff that I've slept in bed with, and it's like when I have somebody in bed with me, I'm not as like tossy-turny. I just am tossy-turny when I have anxiety, and I have anxiety like all the time. So I got an itch on my foot, and I got a taco. I think the favorite I ever had is I had one person who I was. A twin? Ooh. AZL puts you in your sleep with his long ass arms. Definitely doesn't. Do we share a twin bed? Oh no! What's going on? Why did my chat just go away? So I have a. I have a full size. Yeah, I've got 2 full size mattresses. Well, oh, both my beds are full size beds. I technically have 3 full size mattresses because when I first moved to Vegas, I was sleeping on a queen size bed with my at the time girlfriend. When she broke up with me, I moved into an apartment that already was fully furnished, and it again had a full-size mattress. And then when I moved out of that apartment, I moved in with my buddy Will. I didn't have any mattress. I didn't have the money to buy a bed. So I was sleeping on a giant beanbag chair, which was surprisingly comfortable for like 2 or 3 nights in a row. Like what would happen is like every 2 or 3 days I'd have to like fluff it up again because all the little beans would flow to the side and be sitting on the floor. But like I would get it all fluff up and I'd lay down and I'm like, I'm in a taco. It was surprisingly comfortable. Then we got a different apartment, and right when we got that apartment, that's when I started dating another person. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Started dating another person, and they're like, yeah, if we're dating, we can't do the beanbag chair. So we went on a trip to IKEA, and I got a full-size mattress from IKEA. And I'm like, yeah, full-size mattress. But that IKEA mattress is hard as a fucking brick. And, like, we went as far as to get, like, a foam mattress topper for it, and it still was, like, it was uncomfortable. Then when I moved... Then I moved out of that apartment into another apartment, and as soon as I moved into that apartment, my partner at the time, their mom and stepdad had bought like a big RV, and they had, before even using it, had replaced one of the mattresses in the RV. And the one that they had, like that came with the RV, they're like, well, we don't have any use for this. Does anybody else want it? So I took it, because like she's like, my partner was like, at the time was like, oh yeah, we can use that. So I have that, and what I do is I have the IKEA mattress on the bottom, the nice mattress on top, and then the foam topper. But then when I go on camping trips, my tent is big enough that I can fit a full-size mattress in it. So what I do is I take that IKEA mattress and I roll it up like a burrito. Put ratchet straps around it, and stuff that in the back seat of my car. And then put all my camping gear around it. No, you're stinky. You're not coming up here. You're getting a bath after this. But then, like, when I go and set up my tent, I put that in there. And it's like, it's not as comfortable, but it's more comfortable than sleeping on a cot or sleeping, you know, on an air mattress. I hate air mattress. I cannot sleep on an air mattress. You give me an air mattress, I will, I don't know what I will do. I can't sleep on air mattresses. I have a cot that I can kind of sleep on, but, like, only kind of. I'm so skinny, I have to sleep on something soft because something hard like a cot or that IKEA mattress actually causes pressure points on my hips and, like, gets really uncomfortable when I sleep. It's just I'm so skinny. I'm skinny, but I still weigh almost 200 pounds. I'm like 175, 180 pounds. It's because I'm tall. I'm thin, but tall. Just sleep on the floor. I actually dated somebody, and that's how they slept. Is they really liked sleeping on the floor. Because they actually had, like, I don't remember if it was they had some kind of back surgery and they had a bunch of pins and stuff in their back. And they actually said that my bed was kind of, does that mean I have childbearing hips? Yes, but not in the way you think. I don't know what I mean by that. I'm not beefy. I am full of beef tacos. If you see me, I actually have a, like, no one on stream has seen me shirtless or seen me in a position where you can see it, but I have a beer gut. Like, I got a little gut. And then I got, like, skinny little arms. Skinny little arms. But beer gut. But no, they liked sleeping on the floor, and they said that my bed was really uncomfortable. And the only way that it was made comfortable is they would curl up in a ball and lay, like, in my arms. So I was wrapped around them like this, and that was the only way they could sleep in my bed, which was actually really nice. Because I was like, because they were small enough that they curl up in a little ball, and I was like, ooh, I can completely put my arms around you. Kind of miss them. And, like, when I did that, I, like, put my arms around him and I didn't move the rest of the night. I'm on this truck, which is this one here. We want this switch, this crossover. You're getting boba? Have fun. I'll probably go for, I'll probably stream until about 8:30, 9 o'clock, so like I said, I don't want to go too long tonight. I did stream for 4 hours yesterday. So, if you're back from Bobo before I'm done, come back. If not, hit me up on Discord and we can BS there. I'm cool with that. For those unaware, Clueless Puppy Vibes and I are in, like, 2 other Discords, and whenever I'm active on those 2 Discords, them and I kind of have a little back and forth shit posting conversations back and forth, so we are internet friend, I think. Mog said I'm excited. I'm happy that Puppy's getting boba. I understand that people like that. Not for me, but I ain't gonna yuck on anyone's yum. I'm excited. I'm happy that they're getting a little treat for themselves. Because my little treat is 4 beers in my fridge. They're good, but they don't go good with tacos. So I want to finish my tacos before I drink the beers. And I'm probably gonna be hopping on to VR chat after this, and probably drink a beer when I play VR chat. I don't know if you saw on Discord, Parker. I don't know if you saw on Discord, Parker, but I got dispatcher.net able to connect to the server from work. So while I was at work, I was doing some dispatching and getting some of the AI trains that have been sitting for months moving. And I was sitting there thinking about it, like, if people wanted to do it, I could absolutely dispatch like one area. I would only do like Barstow Terminal. That'd be the only part of the railroad I would be, focused on. But I could totally dispatch during work. So if it's like, if a bunch of people are on Thursday, and I'm sitting at work, I'd be like, all right, you can dispatch this, and you can dispatch that. I've got this area. Potential Run8 CMFR rules, new rule. If you're dispatching, you have to be using dispatcher.net. No. No. No, 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 no. You're stinky. You're getting a bath. What I'm probably going to do is at like 8:30, 9 o'clock, take Stinky Boy, give him a bath, and then hop on VR chat. Also, I don't know if you saw, Parker, but I got my walkie-talkie handset. I got that kind of working as my microphone for Discord, specifically for doing this. The only problem I'm having right now... Hey, Wacky Steve! Yeah, I said this the other day during my stream yesterday. I needed a break from Run8. I needed a break from the community. I needed a break from the game. I needed a break. And that break was, 9 months, 8-9 months long. I don't know how active I'm going to be back into playing it, but I'm hoping that if I can get the community, like the CMFR, back up and running and get some people in here and get events going on, like the one idea that I posted in Discord the other day or yesterday about doing a once a month mega session. If that can get momentum, then that's going to help keep me wanting to play this. If it doesn't get momentum, then whatever. But yeah, I got it working. I got the handset working. The only problem is, and I don't know why, but I can hear myself through my speakers when I talk on this. So I don't know how bad it is. So I'm going to do a quick test. Santa Fe 5090 departing Barstow. Yeah, Wacky. So the idea would be... you would sign up like the first of the month. The sign up sheet would go up, right? And you would pick what like job you would want to do, and not like a specific train, but you would pick like, I want to be a road crew, I want to be dispatcher, I want to be yard crew, I want to be conductor, I want to be maintenance away, whatever, right? You would have all of those roles that you would select, and then the last Saturday of the month, we would do a 12-hour session. So the server would go into dispatch mode, and from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., there would be people, and it's like, if you sit there and say, well, I can't be available on Saturday until after 4 o'clock, okay? All right, I'm going to make sure that I assign you to this specific train. I'm going to say, all right, you're going to be assigned to a road train, a bar back train out of Barstow, and then I'm going to tell the Barstow yard crew they need to have that train ready by 4 p.m. So that way when you log in, that train is ready. So the Barstow Yard crew who logs in at 9 a.m., they got, so many hours to build that train. I keep forgetting what my locomotive number is. 5090. Yeah, that's an approach medium, right? No, stop it. I'll play with you later. You're getting a bath. My kitten's very stinky, and he's trying to play with me, and I don't want him on me when he's stinky. Santa Fe 5090, approach medium, Valley Junction. It feels like it's a really jank setup. Yeah, it wouldn't be this Saturday, obviously. I want to make sure that there's momentum behind it before I start doing a lot of the work. I have already started building like the questionnaire sheet that people would sign up for, like the sign up sheet. I figured out that. Then I have a rough idea of what the crew like call sheet would look like. That like you would go to like, oh, all right, the crew sheet's out. What job am I assigned to? I would have a clear, like I have an idea of what that would actually look like. I need to switch to... I had to switch radio channels because I'm now in Cajon Sub. So it wouldn't be this month. It would be next month. Like I think I said like July 28th is the last Saturday of the month. And it would be once a month, right? And specifically I want to do the last Saturday of the month, so if other server groups also want to do this, they can do the second Saturday, the first Saturday. They could do the last Sunday. So my session ends and everybody jumps over to like Highball or whatever. Finally figured out proper yard work and locals. So part of what we do on the CMFR is I tried to make the car tags idiot proof as possible, right? So it's a 3-part tag. The very first part is the yard, right? If you're in Barstow and you're sorting cars, look at the first tag. If it's any other yard than Barstow, you don't need to worry about the rest of it, right? If it says, what's the tag for West Colton? If it says WC, that's all you need to worry about. The rest of those numbers and letters and things you can ignore. You just need to get it to Barstow. If it says LMC, you match all the LMC cars together. You match all the LAJ cars together. You match all the MET cars together. You match all the BAK cars together. And you send them to those appropriate yards. If you're in Bakersfield and you have a bunch of cars that all say BAK, now you look at the second part and you only worry about matching the cars with the second part. So if it's like, you're in Mojave, LOP 51, I believe, is one of the Mojave locals, right? Any one that says LOP 51, you match all those together. And then if you're on the local, no. The only part you have to worry about is matching the last part. I only know how to hump. I never how to trim the yard till last week. So if you go to the Barstow yard notes, there should be a pinned Google Doc. Let me just double check and make sure it's actually there. Yep, it's right here. So this is actually pretty easy to... this right here, this first number, in E, that is the bowl track. That is actually what track you're pulling from. So, track 2 right? Everything from track 2, you pull it out and you send it over to North Departure 4. That's all you got to do. Everything from track 3 and 4 goes to... You combine those 2 tracks together, and they go on North Departure 3. Tracks 5 and 6 go to North Departure 2. Track 7, North Departure 1. All of this stuff right here, from track 8 to track 14, that's all West Colton cars. They go on South Departure 1 and South Departure 2. You can take any of these and combine them. And the only ones that are tricky is these bottom ones, tracks 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. They all go to the old yard because they have to be sorted because they're technically Barstow locals. Even though Malbar, PPH, LAJ, those are all in San Bernardino, are kind of all their own train. Yep. They're their own yards and stuff, and they do their own stuff. It does have to go to Barstow to kind of, in the old yard, to kind of be blocked. Which, if you're just getting started out, not really something you need to worry about. One of the things that's nice about these big sessions is you would have multi-crew trains. So it may be a scenario where you're the engineer and I'm the conductor, and I'm just sitting here going, all right, Santa Fe 5090, bring her back, 10 cars. 5 cars, 5990. 2 cars, 5090. 1 car, half a car. That'll do. And all you're doing is manipulating the controls in the cab while I'm doing all the complicated, like, thinking and switching. That's something that Run8 is really good at doing, but you need a lot of people to do it. And that's why I'm thinking if we had these big sessions, then, like, almost every train would be a 2 to 3 person, it would be, multi-crew train. Like, Manifest, like, you're running a Barstow to Bakersfield train, it's just going to be you. I'm going to put you on that, and you're just going to follow signal indication from Barstow to Bakersfield for 4 or 5 hours. Oh, you want to work Mojave? Okay, you're working Mojave, but you're going to be the engineer with, Parker, who's the conductor. And so you're working the controls on the locomotive, and Parker's flipping the switches and making the cuts and everything. And that's... Oh, it's raining again. Oh, it's raining pretty heavy. I love that Run8 added weather effects. My only concern is the weather effects only appear... Well, it kind of appears on here. It only really appears on the window. Like, just take this texture here and apply it, like, every flat surface and these angled surfaces. And, like, even do, like, a little animation of, like, rain dripping off of here and dripping off of there. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But, like, this doesn't look like it's a wet locomotive other than the fact the windshield's wet. He sees my taco wrapper. My kitten sees my taco wrapper, and he wants it. He wants the taco wrapper because I keep bumping it with my hand. See how far we don't call our signal? We don't have to call it, but you can if you want. Yeah, you ready for a bath? You want to go in the bath? Get wet? Get moist? Get damp? I have a kitten and he's stinky. No! You're stinky. He's gonna hate me after I give him a bath, though. I'm going slow because I can see I've got a red signal. And I'm also dispatching, so I know that like I have another train coming up here. I mean, I've been playing Run 8 since it came out, and I've had to learn a lot, and I'm not an expert. I think there's definitely room for improvement. But I think I do a pretty decent job of running a train. But yeah, if you guys, like, if Wacky and Parker, if you are interested in doing, like, a big session, I'll probably put a poll up. I'm assuming you have a question. You know what? I might... That's a good point. It would only be running SoCal. So... I think I will have to... that's a good point, Steve. I didn't put that into the questionnaire. I should do that, because that actually happened to me a couple years ago. There was a big session that I had signed up for. Santa Fe 5090 full stop Jewel. I'd signed up for it, and I specifically said I don't have the Needles DLC. This was back when Needles was its own separate DLC, right? And I said I don't have the Needles DLC. And so I signed up, and I got assigned one train. And I was going to be the engineer. So I'm sitting in the cab, and the way this session works, if you didn't have your full crew, you didn't get to run, right? So I'm sitting there waiting for my engineer, and my engineer never showed up. And so the train master's like, all right, I'm going to assign these other two people to your train. You're going to go run this other train that's going down Needles. And I said, I don't have Needles. And he's like, good luck. And so I ran the train right up to the end of the track, and I'm sitting there just at the edge of the track, and dispatch is yelling at me like, why aren't you moving? I'm like, there's no track in front of me. And they're like, well, why'd you take a train down Needles? I'm like, I was assigned this train after multiple times saying, I don't have Needles, do not assign me a train to go down Needles. And he's like, well, just finish running the train. I'm like, I can't, I don't have Needles. I don't have that subdivision. But yeah, Puppy, welcome back with the boba. We're stopped at a red light waiting for a train. There's another train coming behind us. More low priority manifest, their high priority Z train. They get to go first. Tim, I'm worried. I redesigned. I redesigned Offbeat, and I renamed it Yalhorn. And 2 weeks ago, I ordered the Send Cut Send parts. Or was it 2 weeks ago that I ordered those parts? Let's see. Send, cut, send. I hate how the website will save my password, but not my fucking email. I placed the order on June 3rd, right? And then the estimated ship date was June 12th. It's been stuck at 43% since then. It has been updated. It has been updated. There's nope. Yeah, actually, I know I can do this. Yes, it shows my address. I'm shipping it to work. I'm shipping these parts directly to my work. So fuck it. I don't care. But it's like estimated delivery June 14th. It's June 17th. I fight on July 5th. I need these parts, man. So Steve, I don't know if you saw the post. I don't know if you saw the post, Steve. I have a poll right now on the CMFR server in the SoCal General channel. One of the ideas I've had, because it's been so long and there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of a mumbled mess, I'm thinking about wiping the server, basically, or wiping the saved world and starting over with a blank slate. So I would put down, there would be locomotives in all the yards, but no rail cars, and we'd have to we'd have AI trains bringing rail cars into Barstow and switching them, and part of that process would include, well, here comes that other train. Part of that process would include better balancing all of the industries. I haven't used Send-Cut Send yet, but I figured they had faster cutting and shipping. Normally they are really fast. Normally Send-Cut Send is super fast, right? I don't know why there's suddenly a delay. I'm about ready to email them and be like, why? Well, Carpenter, as I was saying, I hopped on yesterday and I went down to Victorville. I'm like, you know what? I want to do some switching in Victorville. I haven't done that in a long time. And there was just locomotives and cars everywhere. And then I saw one train that was ready to leave Victorville, right? And I looked on the Discord, and that a person had made note that train was ready to leave back in September and hadn't done anything. I'm like, if we start with a blank slate, we can build up and we can better manage the AI spawns to better manage the areas where people are working. I've got a ton of cars for LMC and property yard, but no one's ever working those. So they're just going to sit in Barstow and clog it up. If I retool all of the AI spawns to only be bringing in cars for places where I know people are going to be working, then we're not going to have these backlog of cars just sitting, tying up the yard like that. And then if we get a ton of people on and they want to work San Bernardino, they want to work Malabar, they want to work MET, then I can turn those on and those will slowly start filtering in. Oh, really? I wonder if it was just on your end, because I'm showing everything green on my end. I'll double check the VOD. I don't know, Carpenter, if you saw my video that I posted in the Discord or not, about the mega session idea as well. My kitten is just sitting there like, he wants to jump on my lap, and I want him on my lap. But he's stinky. He needs a bath. But he's also adorable. But he's stinky. Blame Twitch. Hashtag blame Twitch. Where to cat cam? That's been asked a few times because he likes to run around and doesn't really. He likes to run around and play and stuff. I really don't have a camera that I could put like dedicated to looking at him. I did think about putting his cat tree right next to my desk, and then like having a camera there, so if he was ever laying in it. But he never really lays in his cat tree. Like he plays with it, he scratches at it, but he scratches at it and plays around it. Cat treat redeem. Oh man, I could set that up. I do have a bag of cat treats over there. Yeah? Do you want Twitch to make you fat? Gotta get I have a GoPro. I have my mobile... Tim, I have my mobile streaming box. I could strap it to him. The box, camera, battery, video encoder, and router all weigh more than him, but I could do it. I could do it. Nah, I think when he's a little older and more calmer, I might put his cat tree back over here next to my desk somewhere and have like a camera that just looks at his cat tree. The problem is where I want to put the cat tree is also the walkway to like, because I'd be over there behind my desk is where I store all my video game controllers, like my rail driver, my flight sim setup. Like all that stuff. And if I put the cat tree there, I'd have to move it every time I go to like, oh, I want to play for some flight sim tonight. I gotta move the cat tree to go grab the stuff. Oh, I want to play DCS, or I want to play something else. You know. So I don't know. The other thing too is he likes to sit on my lap, so I could put a camera looking at my lap, but then you're just gonna see like my balls half the time. Like, yeah, I have pants on, but still, it would be an inappropriate angle. Because I'd switch to it, and he's not there, and it's like, oh, why y'all want to see my junk? Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, puppy got hit by the thing. That could be a way to increase views. Yeah, that's how I start an OnlyFans. Okay. Oh, we got a restricting an approach. SP5090 approach at Jewel. I'm only gonna run this for a little bit. It's already 8:30. Let the amps come on, and then release the independent. Like Automod held for sex words. Oh no. I tried changing it. I approved it, but then I tried changing it on my phone, like see what would happen, and it's like, do you want to time out clueless puppy vibes? I'm like, no. I mean, I could do this. Let's see. Move this up. Oh, no. I was gonna say, he is right there. He's right there, but that camera's not angled far enough down to, like, see down there, like, see him on the floor next to me. And I specifically have this camera, like, trimmed and cropped. So you don't see, like, my legs. Because even though I am wearing pants, these are not pants that I wear outside. These are my, I'm at home and I want to wear shorts pants. What I kind of wish I could do is I kind of wish I could pop out the chat box. I can do it. I can go... Oh, did I close out my Twitch tab? I must have. Go here. I got 9 minutes before another ad. Pop out chat. See, I popped out the chat box like this. I wonder if there's a way I can keep this window on top of everything else. Because what happens is, like, I have it here, and then I click on the game, and then everything goes away. And that's why I've got my phone sitting on top of the rail driver with chat pulled up on my phone. But no, I would not time out, like, I don't time out people unless they're like clearly spam bots. Like, and those I just straight up report and block. I actually didn't check what the HPT on this train was. We might be super underpowered. Ow. Stinky boys, don't get up here. It's actually kind of a good thing that this train's a little underpowered because I've got 2 trains in front of me. If we go slow, eventually they'll be far enough ahead of me, I won't be being stopped by a signal every, like, 2 miles. Santa Fe 5090, approach at Linwood. Now we transitioned. That's what that clicking was. But yeah, I want to, I don't know, like I was saying earlier, like I kind of got burnt out on this game and the community and everything. And then just yesterday I was just like, you know what? Let me just try playing it for a couple of days. Try getting some more people to play and see how I feel. And then let's pitch this idea for this big session and see, you know, if it's something people are interested in. If they are, I'll put the time and effort into making it happen. If they're not, no big deal. If they are, cool, I'll spend the money and buy version 4 if and when it comes out. If not, I'll save the money and I won't buy version 4. That was an approach, and we are getting up to 35 miles an hour, so I should probably start cutting the power back. But I also know those trains ahead of me are probably doing 55, 60 miles an hour, so we'll see. It looks like the rain has let up. It is getting dark because the sun is setting. It is 8:30 in game. This game does use real time. And it is synchronized to real time 1-to-1. So it's 8:27 in game. It's 8:27 in real. They're making V4. It's rumored that they're working on it, but I'm not going to fall into the same trap that I did with V2 or with V3. There was a long point in time where like they told us they were working on the next version of Run 8. And then it was like 2 years of radio silence. And for a big part of that 2 years, I would be on this stream and I'd have people come in and saying, when's the next update for Run 8 coming out? When's the next version? They're like, they're working on it, guys. Trust us. Trust the developers. They're working on it. And then it's like, how many times can I sit there and say, yes, they're working on it. Yes, version 3 is coming out soon, with nothing to show for it? How many times can they tell me that they're working on it and not show me anything before I don't believe it anymore? And so now it's like, we haven't had an update to Run 8 since January. And normally we get an update every 2-3 months, right? And we haven't had one since then. So it's like, they're probably in that 1 to 2 year no update drought where they don't say anything, don't put anything out, and then oh, V4 comes out, or is out and available today. Like, no hype, nothing. And finally, I'm going to lurk in place in Xbox while eating Taco Bell. I'm probably going to be streaming for another half hour, puppy, and then I'm going to dip out. If you ever want to hit me up on Discord or VRC, you know where to find me on there. I haven't really been active on Tiger Moon's Discord or Akira's Discord because they just too many people and too much stuff. It's just too much going on. On top of that, I've been made moderator on a different community that has a lot going on, so I'm like constantly like, do I want to keep up with these conversations on these 2 other Discords where I don't feel like I really am being noticed? Or do I want to moderate this other Discord and be part of this community that has actually brought me in and been like, they literally said to me one day, why the fuck haven't you applied to be a moderator yet? And I was like, okay. What milepost are we at? Anyways, I haven't really been active on those Discords, so it's like, if you want to get a hold of me, you either got to find me on stream or just direct message me on Discord. I'm trying to stream on Tuesdays. Usually this is my normal stream time, and I want to add like Saturday evenings, or not Saturday, Sunday evenings. And I might do. Oh, there's no signal. Santa Fe 5090 approach. I want to try doing some like RC car streaming, but I don't know how I'm going to get all the equipment to work just yet. But yeah. But anyways, we're in that drought where like they don't. It might be a year or 2 before we get any updates or any new DLC or anything, and then it might be they just announce tomorrow. They might just say, you know, hey, by the way, V4 is available now. They don't communicate with the community anymore about what's going on. So it's like, how do I trust them when they say they're working on something when they have nothing to show for it? They don't really say much. Half the time when I find out, like, oh, that they're still working on stuff, it's not even them saying anything. It's somebody sharing a screenshot of an email. It's them replying to a comment on one of my videos. And it's like, why don't you guys understand that you need to communicate with your with the player base, with your community? If you don't communicate with us, we're gonna go play other games. And now you actually have some real. When Run 8 first came out, there was no real competition for a good quality multiplayer train simulator. You had Open Rails, which is and you had Trains, which was And then Run 8 comes out and has rock solid multiplayer, You know, all these things that are making it better and better and better with every update. It's like king of the hill in multiplayer in terms of multiplayer train simulators. And now you have Railroads Online, you have Railroader, you have Century of Steam. These games all have multiplayer and are, you know, being more, they're more community, they have a larger community involvement. You know, they talk to their player bases, their customers, and that. They listen to feedback, they take suggestions, and they communicate, hey, we're working on the next update, we're working on this, we're doing this. Why would I spend my money on Run8 when I could spend my money on Railroader, I could spend my money on Century of Steam, I could spend my money on, you know, Railroads Online? Like, the only real thing that's keeping me in Run8 is the fact that I can run a dedicated server 24/7. I can't run a dedicated Railroader server. That, and I like the routes in Run8 a little bit better than Railroader, although I do like that Railroader is small. The map is small, so you get 4 or 5 people in the session, and you're working real close to each other. In Run8, it's, I'm down here in Barstow, somebody else is 200 miles away in, you know, LA or, you know, Fresno. And that's the only other player. And it's like, if I want to see that player, it's going to take me 12, I either have to teleport to them, or it's going to take me, you know, 8, 9, 10 hours of driving my train to get there. Which is nice that it's a 1-to-1 scale world. I forgot my bell was on. But when you have a small player base that gets spread out, and having those smaller maps like Railroader kind of helps. That's my rant for Run8. Like, I still think it is the best train simulator on the market, but it is very quickly, like, on the edge of being dethroned in my mind. Especially since, like, we have steam engines in Railroader. We have a larger variety, we have a little bit more variety of locomotives in Railroader than we do in Run8. Next signal's coming up and I can't see it because it's right here. It's an approach medium. Yeah, also one of the things about these streams, like, if people have questions or just want to shoot the shit, like, feel free. Like, I just will ramble because when you're streaming, you need to talk. You need to be active. You need to say stuff, and it's like... I have said what I want to say. I don't know where the train of thought goes next. Other than Cheddar, you're getting a bath. Countdown is starting on Cheddar's bath time. I gave him a bath once. We had Poopageddon when I first got him. He's only a few months old. I think 3 months old? He was born on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, you St. Patty's Day. Your birthday's St. Patty's Day. He was born on St. Patrick's Day. Santa Fe 5090, clear, CP Hodge. I like how it was an approach medium all the way up until right there. But I got him home, and after about the first couple of days, he was doing pretty good. He was no accidents, right? I had found like one spot where he decided he had to go and he couldn't make it to the litter box, and he pooped behind my couch, which sucked. But I cleaned it up. And then he kept having accidents behind my couch because I had some stuff stored back there. All right, Parker. See you later. I'm probably gonna be wrapping up here soon. Anyways, so like he had some like bags and stuff that I stored back there. There was like big paper bags, and he'd been peeing and pooping on those. I cleaned them up, and he hasn't had an accident back there. But like, one day I came home and there was just poop everywhere. Like, it was on this chair, it was on my couch, it was all over my floor. He had just gotten the shits and shit everywhere. And I was like, it took me like 2 hours just to clean everything. Clean my couch, clean this chair. Like, I scrubbed this chair, scrubbed my couch, scrubbed my floors. I had to throw away a couple boxes of junk that I had like under my chair because he'd shit in those. It was a horrible mess. But he was a kitten, and he had been adjusting to new diet, new place. It just happens, right? He himself was covered in it, so I had to give him a bath, and he really didn't like it. But he hasn't really been doing a very good job of grooming himself like cats normally do. So when he goes and plays in his cat litter, when he goes to the litter box and he sits there and plays with the cat litter for a while, he smells like cat litter. And like this weekend, one of my projects this weekend for cleaning up my house is he's getting fresh cat litter. I scoop his litter box out every night before bed, so there's no poop. And every 3 weeks, I think it's like, yeah, every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks I change his litter box. I change out the cat litter. Because the bag, I specifically buy like a big 4-pound bag, and it's like, this bag will last you, with one cat, 18 days. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to let it go 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks I'll change it. Oh, we weren't at CP Hodge. Santa Fe 5090, clear, CP Hodge. Yeah, you guys can't see it on the dispatch panel, but we're like down in the bottom corner right now of the screen. Gotta hit that alert. What are my train stats? .2, so I am way underweight, or way underpowered for this run. So, because I've got it at notch 8 and we're doing 30 miles an hour. I didn't think this train through when I built it. I apologize for nothing. It's my own fault. He's just sitting at my feet. My kitten is sitting at my feet. And I'm just like... I don't think he's aware. I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows. No. I found who we're going to be raiding after this. There's a YouTube channel that I've been following for a while, and I just saw that he also has it on Twitch, where he has his model railroad, but he has a camera on one of his train car on a train cart in front of his locomotive that live streams from the locomotive. I'm 90% sure I figured out exactly how his setup works, and I could build one myself. But he live streams it from there, and then because he uses JMRI, you can log into his railroad and drive his train from the cab of his locomotive, which is something I would love to do. Have I done much Amtrak on this? We do run Amtrak. We have, Amtrak services and stuff. People can do that. You're free to run an Amtrak train if you want. I personally don't like running Amtrak. I think I did it once, and yeah, that was it. But no, this guy is model railroad. We're gonna, when I'm done here, I'm gonna throw the raid over to him. But it's something I want to do. I want to eventually build my model railroad, and that's one of the projects I want to work on this weekend. That's probably going to be my Sunday project. I probably won't stream it, but I'm probably going to go get the foam board that I need to do the sub-road bed. For my model railroad. And I don't know if I'll stream that. I've never tried Amtrak, so no clue how it is compared to freight. So the trains are shorter and lighter, so you accelerate much faster, you stop quicker. They also have different braking systems, so the brakes apply much faster because the trains are also shorter. It is, instead of stopping at the passenger stations as if they were industry tracks, you just stop, you do a 10-minute station stop, 5-10 minutes, and then you move on your way. There's not really much to do other than there's no other than the weight and power difference. There's no real difference. It's just throttle up, throttle down, throttle up, throttle down, throttle up, throttle down. Santa Fe 5090 clear, milepost 151. All right, about 15 minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up at 9 o'clock. We're gonna raid this model railroad guy because I think that'd be funny. But I've been following him on YouTube. But yeah, I do eventually want to have my model railroad that I'm building in my garage, where you guys watching could come in and drive the trains. I just don't know how that's gonna work if I do like a point-to-point switching layout, right? If I do N scale, I can do a loop and you guys can run it in circle burn all day. If I do a point-to-point, like you drive a locomotive from one end to the other end and then back. You just go forward and backwards until the train like hits the brick that I'm going to put at the end of the track as a stopper. Amtrak is fun if you're running it and there's a lot of traffic. Like if there's a lot of AI trains and other player trains and you're running an Amtrak train between San Bernardino and Barstow, or between LA and Barstow, which is like a 3-hour run for Amtrak, that makes it fun if there's a lot of traffic. If there's not a lot of traffic, you're sitting in notch 4 for 10 minutes between station stops, and then you're stopping for 10 minutes at a station. The only real fun that is if you're down in LA and you're doing switching, because there is the LA Amtrak facility where they service the Amtrak trains. So you can go down there and you can actually build Amtrak trains in the service facility down there. I've ridden my motorcycle along this route. Whenever I go to LA, right? Whenever I go to LA, because I live in Vegas, I will take the 15 to Barstow. And then at Barstow, I take Route 66 around the old way, right? Old Highway 59, Route 66, which parallels this stretch of track. And that's the route I always take when I go to LA on my bike. Because one, the freeway's boring, and it ain't a boring route. It's nice scenery, and then there's actually like some nice hills, some nice curves, and then you're following the train tracks, so I get to do a little rail fanning. There was one time where there was a power move, it left Barstow. Like, I was in Barstow, I watched it leave, and I followed it almost all the way. I followed it all the way to Victorville. Like, I got to Victorville the same time they did. And we're losing speed. Probably either should have put another locomotive on the front or grabbed a tail end unit. A single rear DP would have helped. But yeah, if you're just checking this out and you're hanging out in the stream, whatever, and you're, let's see, where is it? Discord. If you're just hanging out in the Discord, or hanging out in Twitch, and you're watching, and you're thinking, wow, I want to play Run8, I want to be part of that big session that you were just talking about, there is a link to the official CMFR Run8 Discord, where you can find some more information about that session. You can join us, hang out, come run trains. Drop me a follow. I play a lot of stuff I do a lot of stuff like I play Run8, I play Star Citizen, Flight Sim, all those kinds of games. If you just want to generally hang out because you enjoy watching me play video games, or you just want to shoot the shit. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I know where I can find it. Like, where... I know I made... a link for my other server. That second link is to my generic shitposting, literally called Kaz's Shitposting Emporium Discord, where I just shitpost. That's all this. It's just me. It's just a general chill hangout Discord. That's also where I'm going to start posting more, like, just my live stream stuff. So when I'm live streaming my model railroad, that's where you're going to find out I'm doing it. When I'm streaming other games, that's where you're going to find out I'm doing it. That's probably also going to be where the model railroad build, like, specific stuff is at. So the CMFR, I'm going to kind of get rid of a lot of the ancillary stuff. Like, oh, you want to play games? I have this Discord for that. This Discord is purely Run8. That's what that Discord is going to be. And maybe Railroader. Don't scratch up my chair. Stupid cat. Stinky cat. Don't scratch up me. He just jumped up and like put his claws into my leg. I'm like, ah! Well, we got over the hill. It's all mostly downhill from here. But full application bail off the Indy. Cat. Well, it's time for his bath. His bath is going to be me sitting there with a damp washcloth with a little bit of pet soap in the sink. Maybe the bathtub. Okay, I have the train. I have a full application of the train brake, and we're holding 20 miles an hour. The train's not stopping. Like, it's just maintaining 20 miles an hour. Like you see the equalizers at 60. The brake cylinder, the brake pipe is at 60. And we're accelerated. We're accelerating. I have full application of the brakes. I'm not even ramping up the dynamic. The wheels on these cars must be locked and the train's just sliding. No, I didn't smoke the brakes. Santa Fe 5090. Doing a recrew here at CP Oro Grande. All right. You ready for your bath, Steamy boy? Alright. For shits and giggles, we're going to raid Canadian Locomotive Logistics, which is the guy who I was talking about who live streams from the cab of one of his model trains. Give him a follow, because I've been watching his... I've been, like, lurking in his channel, watching his stuff for a while. I think it's really cool what he's doing. And it's inspiring me to, like, want to do the same thing in the future. But, I will catch you guys all later. As soon as this raid kicks off, I will be ending the stream. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you didn't already, go ahead and drop that one of them likes, them follows, whatever's. Check the links that I already posted for the Discords. And I will catch you guys all later.